I don't take much, and you really can't take much from the summer league because a lot of the teams, a lot of the players that you see, they're probably not going to be on the NBA roster. They may not even make it to a G League roster. A lot of them will make it to a G League roster, but you're not getting the best brand of basketball because a lot of those players are not going to be there. That's why you see, I think you can have 10 fouls a game for one player. Like, it's just not that good basketball because, again, you're not seeing the top tier talent play. So you really have to damper your expectations while watching the summer league. However, what can you get from the summer league? You can see how some of the top players like Brandon Miller and some of the top draft picks, how they perform under heightened competitive games. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, the summer league, most of these players are better than college players. So you want to see how the new upcoming Anthony Black and Chet Holmgren came back. You want to see how they play and how they handle maybe a faster game, a more physical game. Well, for this summer league, all eyes were on Victor Wembanyama. Everyone wanted to get a glimpse of Victor. Everyone wanted to see just how Victor was going to handle himself and how he looked. I mean, he was touted as the greatest prospect to come out since LeBron James. A lot of people are saying that he could be the greatest prospect of all time. Yes, he looks good in France. He looks good playing for the team he played for. However, you want to see what he looks like under the NBA umbrella. So the Summer League is the first glimpse that we see. And I'll admit, going into it, I had concerns that I needed to be dispelled watching him play. Of course, I said it, I think last episode, the concerns I had for Victor was, of course, his lateral speed because he's so tall. Is he going to be able to really, especially when he gets switched on to a guard or when he gets switched on to a faster player, is he going to be able to keep up? Is he going to be able to move his feet fast enough because he's so tall? And of course, his build, his strength. He is a very skinny player. And I was interested to see just how he fares in a more physical game. And after playing 2 games and essentially being shut down for the Summer League, all the concerns that I had for Victor Wembanyama are still there. However, I am more sure that when we look up 3-4 years from now, Victor Wembanyama has the talent to be one of the best players in basketball. Again, the concerns I have are still there. He's still a very skinny player, and I wonder how he'll fare against Giannis Antetokounmpo, against Joel Embiid, against Nikola Jokic, against Anthony Davis. Like, I want to see how he fares against bigger athletes. But the poise that he had a very bad first game. I don't know if it was probably jitters. He's touted up to be this all-time great before he even stepped on an NBA court. So it could have been the jitters, but the next game he had 27 points. He was incredible. The concerns that I have for Victor Wembanyama don't overshadow the. Nothing's surety. Let me say, nothing's a surety in basketball. Nothing's a surety in sports. One slip can end a career. One hit can end a career. And I'm not wishing that upon anybody. So you don't know the path of a player. I mean, you look. We thought Derrick Rose's career was going to look drastically different than it did. I'm happy that it's had the length that it's had so far, but we thought, before the injury, we thought Derrick Rose's career was going to be drastically different. We thought, going into the draft, you thought Greg Oden's career was going to be drastically different. You never know what's going to happen in sports. But one thing I will say is, if it feels like the projections are right, and it feels like the the people that are handing out these prospect grades and the scouts, it seems like they are right. We have never seen somebody with the physical build, with the skill set, with the height that Victor Wembanyama has. And Draymond Green, shouts out to Draymond Green in the Paul George podcast. He said it. Victor Wembanyama has the ability year one to be one of the best rim protectors in basketball because of just the sheer length that he has. And nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, has deterred my thoughts about how good. In fact, I feel even stronger with saying that Victor Wembanyama will be 3, 4, 5 years from now, will be one of the best players in basketball if he stays healthy. Now, again, I don't wish injury upon anybody, so let's hope that that's what happens. And you saw, the news about Greg Popovich signing a 5-year extension. You want to get this right. When you have a once in a generational player, for what people call, you want to get that right. You don't want an unproven or pretty much an unproven coaching somebody like this. You want to, when you draft a player this high, when you draft a generational talent, you want and you need to, for lack of a better term, squeeze the most you can get out of them. Because the most you can get out of them is top tier greatness. I mean, they're squeezing the most out of Steph Curry. They're squeezing the most out of LeBron James. They're squeezing the most out of Kevin Durant. They're squeezing the most out of Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Luka Doncic. You need to, again, these are players that are kind of considered as generational players. Players that you may not see. We may never see a person with the size and skill set of a Nikola Jokic, of a not Giannis Antetokounmpo. We will probably never see a shooter as good as Steph Curry. We will probably never see a player had the career and had the longevity and just the greatness that is LeBron James. So what you want to do is you want to get that right. Now, some players are able to supersede that, and some players are able to just perform with whoever. But you don't want them to have to do that. So when you sign Greg Popovich, who is widely known as probably one of, if not the greatest coach in basketball history, you want greatness in greatness. Greatness is, well, how do I say this? You want a sure thing around Victor Wembanyama. You don't want one false move, and that false move can be hiring a bad coach or hiring a bad training staff. You do not need that around a player that can ultimately change the direction of your franchise. So I think Victor Wembanyama is going to be incredible. Yes, the concerns that I have for him are still there and probably won't be dispelled until he gains some weight or until he plays against one of the premier players in basketball. But Victor Wembanyama is the real deal, man. And it would be, from what I saw, and yes, I understand that you don't take a lot. You shouldn't take a lot out of the Summer League. But one thing that you can take out of is you want to see how a player plays after a bad game. You want to see what happens when they don't get the calls. Because in college, in overtime, in the G League, Ignite, they usually get their calls because they're the star players. Well, you're going into a league now where you're surrounded by stars. The worst player on an NBA bench is probably one of the greatest players you will ever see on the street. So in the summer league, you want to see poise. You want to see domination. Like if you're a second or third year player playing in the summer league, there should be no question. You should be easily the best player on, like the Rockets. They had Eason playing. They had Jabari Smith. They should be 10 times better than most of the players that you see in the summer league because they have a year in the NBA. You see some of the Magic players. That's what you want to. That's what you want to see. You can't take a lot, but what you can take is things that are supposed to happen should happen. If you played in the league for 2-3 years, you should be dominating in the summer league. Or if you're a top tier player like a Victor Wembanyama, like a Brandon Miller, like a Scoot Henderson, you should be able to dominate. Or I'm not going to say dominate, but you should look drastically different than the rest. When LeBron James, even though I think he played like maybe 1 or 2 games in the summer league, maybe 3, when LeBron James was in the summer league, him, Carmelo Anthony, D Wade, they look drastically different, obviously. Every star that you see or every star that you've seen that played in the summer league, I mean, Dwight Howard looked different in the summer league. Steph Curry. The summer league is different. Nikola Jokic, even though he was a second overall pick or second round pick, he looked drastically different in the summer league. So what I'm just saying is you don't take a lot, but what you do take, things that are supposed to be clear should get cleared up. If you've been in the league for 2-3 years and you're still in the summer league, you should dominate. Oh man, you stayed to the end of the video. I appreciate you. If you like what you saw, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you'll never miss any content from your boy. You can also go back and watch past episodes, past clips, and don't forget that the Unpopular Podcast, new episodes drop every Wednesday and Saturday. Appreciate you.